Are expats who are living and working in Germany happy here? That is one of the questions that we wanted to answer with our community survey that we did earlier this year in 2024 to our newsletter readers, subscribers. This is, of course, a very subjective question because happiness highly depends on the person that you're asking to and how they see life. However, in this video, we wanted to detangle a little bit this topic and share the results that we had. Are you ready for some insightful data?
Let's do it.
Hey, my name is Jen and I'm from Guatemala.
And mine is Yvonne and I'm German.
And together we're from simplegermany.com, where we create English content to empower internationals to settle into life in Germany more smoothly.
In the survey, amongst other questions, we asked about the happiness of our subscribers in 3 different life areas. One question was targeted at how happy they are with the city that they live in. The second one was how happy are they with the job that they hold? And the third, how happy are they with their salary?
By the way, if you want to subscribe to our newsletter and participate in our next year survey and receive a lot of tips and everything, you can do so by following the link in the description box below.
For context, in total, 326 smoothlers, how we call our community members, a made-up word of smooth settler, participated in this year's survey. And generally speaking, to give you a quick result here, expats who are currently living and working in Germany are happy. 52% of all participants are happy in all 3 areas of life. I think that is a great number.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, in all 3 areas, that is pretty impressive. More than half, one could say. And what about the rest?
Exactly. And it's especially a great number if we look that only 5% are unhappy in all 3 areas. That leaves 43% that are happy in some and see room for improvement in other areas.
So, which areas are expats most happy with? Let's look at each question individually. 86% that answer the survey are happy with the city that they live in. That
regardless of the city, because no, they're not all just based in Berlin or Munich, other cities, but also sometimes in smaller towns.
That is super actually interesting. 78% are actually happy with their job, which I still consider is pretty high.
Love it.
Yes, and of course, talking about money, only 64% are happy with their salary, which is still more than half, so that's still pretty cool, right?
Yep. And when we dive a little bit deeper and actually look at possible correlations, numbers change, and actually they change to the positive. So if we drill deeper on the 86% that are happy in the city that they live in, they also are happier with their job and their salary than the baseline, the individual results of each question. So environment, in this case, matters.
That is super interesting, yeah.
If we drill into the second question, the happiness of job, and if we look at those 78%, again, automatically for those 78%, also they are happier with their salary. I mean, if you like a job, maybe you also like a salary better, in this case yet, and the city that they live in.
Also interesting.
However, if we drill in on the third question and on those, the 64% that are happy with their salary, and look at how they answered the other 2 questions, something is very interesting because their happiness for the city they live in and for the job that they hold goes up to 90% each, which is by far the highest number and highest result of all. Now, before you jump to conclusions and say, yeah, that's obvious because clearly money buys happiness, hold up.
Yes, because what kind of salary range are we talking about here? Is people earning €1 million a year plus?
No, €1 million plus was not part of our survey participants. However, that is a very interesting point. If we drill in on salary and look at the results, and kind of debunk the money buys happiness myth, but that salary proven in our survey plays a big role in your happiness factor, the ranges of everyone answering they're happy with their salary go from 34,000 gross euros per year, so annual salary, to 320,000 gross per year. Massive, massive difference.
Wow, there's someone that earns 320,000 euros gross per year?
Yep.
That's, probably as high CEO manager, I could imagine.
Up there, yeah. Now, of course, that range doesn't really give you any information. Duh. But if we look at it again a bit closer and we start with the average of everyone that's happy with their salary, the average lies at 82,000 euros gross per year. And I know some of you data wizards will say, but the average is not good to look at. Yep, here comes the median. So the median of everyone happy with their salary in our survey lies at 75,000 euros gross a year. Now, 75,000 euros I consider a very good salary in Germany, and it is way above average. But it is not 100K, it is not 200K. So again, it goes back to a good salary is important for happiness, but good is relative to the country you live in and what you can achieve with that salary.
Yes, and of course, this is highly dependent on the lifestyle that the person has, where they spend the money, do they have any dependents or not, right? Like we obviously cannot, because this is an anonymous survey that we can conduct, so we cannot drill super deep into know specifically the profile of these people. But generally speaking, 75, I consider a very, very good salary.
And that being said, it's a very good salary, but it's the median. That means half of everyone in the survey that is happy with their salary earns less than that, to the degree of 34,000 per year. So look at that side of the range, and there is 40, 50, 60K in there, all through the rows.
Of course, until 75.
Yeah. I'm just pointing out it's not just 30 and then the next one starts with 70. That's what I'm saying. And of course, on the other end, we have salaries that go to 80, 90, 100, 120, and then I would say 150, and then there's a very big jump to the 320.
The outlier, yeah.
That's the absolute outlier, definitely. So if you want to give our very biased opinion on these results from the survey, it shows that, of course, external factors and external environment does have an effect on our perceived happiness. However, ultimately, and I don't want to sound cheesy, but this is what I believe, happiness does come from within for most parts, and how and what we make out of our circumstance.
Yes, I agree. And I also think as expats, we go through these waves of motion. When I first moved to Germany, I was very happy with my salary, which at the time was between 34 and 35,000 gross a year. I was very happy with my job because I had found an English-speaking job in Germany, and my dream was to move to Germany, and I was very happy with the city. I loved Dusseldorf and everything about it, to be honest. But then as time went by, I realized I didn't have enough skills to grow within the company that I was with, and I applied to multiple promotions and I got rejected all the time. And then I was unhappy with my job because I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to grow and be more challenged. I was unhappy with my salary because, of course, I wanted to earn more, but for that I needed more skills. I was still happy with Dusseldorf, but I was willing to let Dusseldorf go to find a better job opportunity and a better salary, and ultimately maybe also a better city. But honestly, a better city than Dusseldorf, I don't know where. That is my biased opinion, of course. So then I was at a crossroads. And there I realized, okay, I need to level up my skills because I don't really have any skills that the German market needs. So then I self-studied, or I studied in my free time, how to become a developer. And so I did that for a year and a half until I had my very first job as an intern. And there, I was very happy with the city, Dusseldorf. I was happy with my job, but not very happy with my salary because as an intern, I think I was earning net, 1,100 euros a month or something very little. And I knew that I had to take that step back to jump forward. And it took 2 years of working as as a trainee, then a junior developer, for me to make that jump in salary. And then I was happy in all three again. I loved my job. I loved being a developer. I loved Dusseldorf, and I was very happy with my salary. And that salary just kept on increasing every 2 or 3 years when I changed companies. So yeah, I think also it goes through motions of life and waves. And I share that story mainly to say that maybe if you're unhappy in one of the three areas, it's time to reconsider. What are the things that are making you unhappy, and what can you change? Because we can all change our circumstances if we just take some action or analyze and are willing to change. Because I can tell you from experience, I went through very, very happy to not so happy to very unhappy to woo, super happy, and I'm like ultra happy because I have the opportunity to do this full time to actually make these videos for you.
Yeah, and maybe that is literally just life in general. I think we as humans should always have the desire to grow and go with change, because I think, at least from my perspective also, when I felt stuck somewhere, that is when I became the least happy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you also went through those motions, not even as an expat, but as a German employee, right?
I would say it's life. Yeah. Anyone has these motions. We cannot be happy in all areas of life constantly, but we also shouldn't stay unhappy in all areas of life constantly. But like you said, look at what do we want? And how can we get there? What action can we take, right?
Yes, and I would say I am very happy in Germany. And to be honest, sometimes we get some very negative criticism on this channel because we're way too positive and happy. But I still take it, and I also, now with our very biased also survey, we also say that people that follow us and are part of our community are also very happy in Germany. And that's amazing, because that means that other people have also found their happiness and their way in Germany as well.
So thank you very much to everyone that participated in this year's survey. And again, if you'd like to participate in next year's, then be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. You can find the link in the description below.
Yes, and additional to that, someone asked us once, what is the #1 tip you would give me to survive in Germany? And we answer that question in our video here on the left. Until next time, tschüss!